Let's get it. Happy What We Watch Wednesday. We are talking the Penguin HBO. We are 3 episodes in. Welcome, welcome. Come on in. I'll let everybody trickle on in. Hello, come on up and speak. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
I'm excited about this show. I'm very much excited about this show. I want my resident, wonderful, let's keep up with the plot and get everything up to speed on what's happened so far in 3 episodes, 3 hours of television. This show, it gives you the full drama each episode. But I think it's just so well managed and paced and presented. And I've, it's such an easy show to watch. And the term easy can be, can have many connotations, but what makes a show easy to watch makes it great, makes it entertaining, and it's complex enough to keep your kind of attention, but also like not drown you in a bunch of mystery. Is that if that makes sense? Like we know what's happening, right? And I'll say a comment that I told Tej the other day about why I love shows like this, but I want to give it to my lovely co-host. I'm gonna step real quick and get some water because I'm still recovering, guys. But come on up to the stage, Tej. Can you walk us through at least what's been happening these last couple of episodes?
So, welcome to the world of a penguin. Um, Basically, we are thrown into the show a couple weeks after the events of the Batman movie, in which the Riddler flooded the city, which has created a bit of a power vacuum in the underworld. We're also dealing with the fact that the head of the Falcone family was killed in the Batman. So, when we enter the show, um, Sofia's younger brother, Alberto Falcone, is like the new guy in charge. Meanwhile, the Penguin's just kind of scrapping around, trying to make things happen. Obviously, the Penguin gets offended by something Alberto Falcone does, and so he kills him. Kind of a rash decision. And then he's spending the first episode kind of trying to cover his tracks in that regard. He also meets Vic, and Vic and his friends are trying to steal his car. So that meets Vic, and Vic becomes kind of his sidekick. And then we're just watching basically the Penguin play the middleman between the Falcons and the Maronis, which are two crime families, and basically trying to put them against each other so he can assume, the power vacuum. And then in our most recent episode, we are seeing, at the end of the second episode, we saw that Sofia wants to now take over the family. So now her uncle is in charge of the family, but Sofia wants to step into that role. So Sofia is working with an unlikely partner in the Penguin slash uh, working with the Penguin to take over the family, and so that's kind of where we stand. Obviously, Vic is proving himself in different ways, and we've also seen Vic's background, which is he lost his family in the flooding that came from the Riddlers setting off the bombs. And we end our third episode with basically Sophia, Sophia and the Penguin being able to get a deal going with the new drugs. The new drug is called Bliss, and basically they found a distributor in the Triad to distribute this drug. And also, Vic tries to leave. Vic basically is going to leave the underworld because he doesn't feel like it's something that's right. But he can't bring himself to leave with his girlfriend or ex girlfriend or whatever she might be. And so he kind of comes back in the nick of time and saves the Penguin's life because the Maroni family found out he was working with the Falcone family. So Vic saves the day, catches his first body, and that's kind of where we end the third episode.
Any questions? Obviously, we're about to dive real deep into this. Um, why I love shows like this, and welcome, is that Angela? You will change your name, Angela. Welcome, Angela, and everyone else who tweeted out and let people join. It's been a great time. What I love about shows like this is the penguin, right? With the penguin, but I love that he's not necessarily the penguin yet. I think Vidi called him the penguin in the last episode, finally. But he's Oz. We got our character Oz. We got Sofia Falcone. We have Vic, kind of the three main characters right now that we've been seeing. And then, of course, Luca, who's mostly off screen except for like a couple of scenes, but he's like the head honcho, the mob boss, the family, you know, inheritor of all the things. What I love about shows like this is that it's called The Penguin, so you know the penguin is going to survive. Um, but immediately we get into the things that he's done that are all the reason for him to get killed. Like, there's so many reasons for this guy not to be alive, and he's still alive. And I love shows like this. I love shows that make the center guy such a conniving, insidious, like it's unfair to call him the protagonist, right? Even though like in some ways maybe he can be. It's just it centers this evil, conniving, you know, character on his ascent to power, and it's this like, okay, like I want to see him win because like the show is over without him, or is it? I don't know. You guys do what you got to do, but also like, how does this guy keep getting away with this shit? And so it's just this fun, wild goose chase around the viewers and the audience know the truth at every move that he makes. They know he's lying. We know he's lying, cheating, undermining, undercutting, deceiving, but he continues to succeed, and it's just really fun. So I love shows like this, and I love that, like you said, it's in the world of the Batman, our 3-hour film that we got a couple of years ago, which was phenomenal, and we drop us right back into Gotham in this place of the aftermath and the effects of the Riddler. And I think that's just so brilliant, and I'm excited to see how they continue this, right? Because the last time we've kind of seen stuff like this is with Marvel, if you will, right? And so it's interesting to see what DC does with this, but this show is really, really exciting. So Angela, tell us how you're feeling so far.
Listen, it's a great show. I think it just proves why the Batman universe is just so amazing because you can do so many things with like so many of the characters on within the rogue gallery and within that lore and world. Um, but I just I really love Vic's character. I don't think we've ever I don't know, I can't think of a time we've ever seen like
Afro
how he
Latinos stand up.
I
Black
mean,
Latinos
you
stand up.
know, good on him. But like, I don't think we've ever seen a character portray, maybe in like The Wire, but like, you just see how society keeps failing someone consistently. And like, this is like the same person, like, if they do a crime, they might get like 20, 30 years, right? And then they're going to be in the criminal justice system. And then just like, they're just in this constant cycle, and we're seeing now, like when he first was trying to break into Oz's car, we were just like, okay, this kid's a criminal. But like learning more of his story, you're just like, okay, society is the reason this kid is so fucked up. And he's genuinely trying to. And it's just like, man, capitalism got us all in hell. But like one of the best characters I've like ever seen, like just written. Like I love that whole story. I mainly watched the show for his arc. Like granted, Colin Farrell, which is still insane that Colin Farrell is the Penguin. Like I can't get over
Right?
that. But like the main reason I'm like drawn to the show is for Vic's storyline.
I love that you said that, honestly, because there was moments in there that I was like, dang, I would love for like Vic to be the Penguin's downfall, even if just for a moment, or just to see Vic ascend to the top and, become this dark, evil character. And just his arc just looks so fun and exciting to me. And the way that they portrayed him in the third episode and his relationship with the penguin, like that father son relationship, which is obviously terrible, toxic, psychologically abusive, and all the things, right? But the scene with the penguin and Vic in the bathroom really hit hard for me because it was like, how do you decide, right, in this capitalist society, how do you decide who's better? Who has more dignity? Do you think there's more dignity in having a 9 to 5 and never being able to crawl out of the pressures, getting stopped by the police. Like, are you really more dignified than me because you follow the rules? Because you do what you like? Look how your parents ended up. They did everything right, and a fucking evil man flooded their whole house. And it's profound stuff like that that you're people really not ready for the conversation. And these TV shows take you, and you probably don't stop and think about it for too much. But this is real life. Are you really better than the drug lord or the person doing all of this stuff? Obviously, you're better than a murderer, most likely. But how would your father have the nerve to be ashamed of you for trying to do better for yourself, maybe in an illegal way, but the people setting these laws have never wanted you to succeed? So if it's illegal, but the people that set the legalities are how your father ended up where he was, what are you talking about? And the fact that they let the penguin do that, like in the bathroom, right after, Vic just had a clearly like traumatic response to some of the like raving in the club. Like, we're talking about good television here. So, Tej, what do you think? And then I want to let DLJ speak.
I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, Colin Farrell is one of those guys who puts his all into everything he does, and he's one of the better actors that we have right now in terms of film and also TV. Given this is a TV show, but I think what's really keeping me around is the Cristin Milioti performance. I just think she is mind blowingly good as Sophia. There's something in her face and in her eyes that is so um, passionate and so like she. I was telling Mo the other day, like when I'm watching this show, I keep forgetting that she is an actress who's acting as a character because she emotionally she brings it so much and she brings so much weight to that character where and that character in the wrong hands could feel clunky because we obviously know, or at least we think that we know that she is eventually going to become an obstacle to us, and she's probably going to lose that battle. But to be able to give that much interiority to that character and what she's able to do on screen is just mind blowing. And I've seen her in other stuff, but I haven't seen her in a lot of other stuff, and I don't think I've seen her do anything dramatic. So she is the real revelation for me. Although I do also love the actor that's playing Vic. The fact that they're able to play off of Farrell in the way that they both are. In episode 3, she's even got some funny stuff. She's even got some. She goes to the apartment and she sees, Oz's setup and she hates it. And she turns on the little fireplace thing and she's like, "Oh wow, tacky!" Like she's able to kind of exist in both. She can do the jokes in her deadpan way, but also be very emotional, very angry. And I just love her performance. And I'm overall really enjoying the show. And it again, to what Anne said, obviously the Black Batman universe is very popular and it's rife with these interesting characters. But if you told me before we saw, even after we saw Colin Farrell in the Batman, if you told me that we're going to make a TV show based on that, I'd be like, well, I'll check it out. But my expectations are pretty low. And so far through 3 episodes, it's been very, very entertaining. I haven't been bored at all, and I'm extremely happy with the direction of the show so far.
DLJ.
Just to piggyback what Deej said, I had little expectations going into the show, but so far in the 3 episodes that I've seen, I've been thoroughly impressed. The acting has really stood out, and Colin Farrell I'm just blown away at the fact that he's been able to play that role flawlessly. Um, and as far as the relationship with Vic and the Penguin, with the Penguin serving as an evil surrogate father to Vic, I really like how they really drove that point in this episode in particular, and the fact that the Penguin had kind of gaslit Vic into saying that, hey, I never held you against your will. You could have left if you wanted to, when he had the chance to reunite with Graciela.
I don't know if you finished or we lost you, but
Oh, yeah, sorry. It cut off for a second.
okay. Um, where are you finished?
No, I would say something, one last thing. So I would have to say episode 3 has probably been the best episode so far. I'm looking forward to seeing how the rest of the season is going to play out.
I love that. Angela, I see your hand up just real quick. Yeah, I definitely think episode 3 has been the best so far as well. I want to welcome Jason to the stage. I think episode 3 has been the best so far for me because we advanced everyone's character arc. We've kind of understood the Penguin this entire time. We know Oz. We know we never want to trust Oz. We know his Maserati is plum. Okay, we get it. All right, this entire show has been a Maserati commercial, quite frankly. Y'all think I didn't? Y'all think I didn't see that? Did y'all not? This is a Maserati commercial. This is a very long-running Maserati commercial. I'm not buying a Maserati. No, that's not going to work. Cool car though. But I say that to say, I think in the third episode, what we got was what Sofia is capable of, revealing whether she's truly the hangman or not, right? And we got Vic and what he's truly capable of, and how the Penguin can kind of puppeteer and be the ventriloquist for a lot of these characters without them even really realizing it. But then we get Sofia, who's my girl. Sofia's my girl. Let me tell you something. TJ, you tried to steal that, but she's really my girl. And I told TJ this. I was like, this show is being carried by Cristin Milioti. Forgive me. It's being carried by Sofia. Here's why. First of all, shout out to every female villain on the planet. I support women's wrongs. Do everything wrong, fuck everybody up, take over. I love that. If you are a woman and you're fucking shit up and you're doing wrong things, I love that. I support that. Continue to do that. And what they did is gave depth to her story. And why I say that is because Bliss, the new drug that we got the drops and then we got Bliss. It reminded me of American Gangster when he was like, I got red magic and blue magic, but my brain goes everywhere for that. But with Bliss, the story behind it, when we were in the lab and we were in front of the salesperson that used to work with her father, that's what they gave me when you put me in the asylum, right? Oz, when you had my father put me in the asylum, this is what I was on. And now I'm going to take my pain, my tragedy, my time inside of Arkham, and I'm going to make a profit off of it. Come on now. I need a round of applause for all the female villains because the girls get it. The girls get it, and that's why episode 3 was my favorite, because we really got, without you even realizing how deep we got into Sofia, we understood her fully. So, Angela, go ahead.
No, I just want to say, like, I get, like, HBO, Warner Brothers has made an enemy out of me for the past few years. But, like, this is what makes HBO so great is, like, we are able to see things in this format. Cause, like, this, I don't think this would have worked as a movie, right? Like, I just don't think, like, we can't
Why?
get,
Why
cause
wouldn't it have worked as a movie?
because the story is drawn out and like we're seeing things that I think we wouldn't be able to see in a 2.5 hour movie. Like something might have felt rushed if we saw it. And I think one of the things that makes HBO so great, particularly HBO, because they do this very well, HBO and maybe FX, is they're able to give us these limited series that is just like, holy shit, okay, so I can watch like 8 episodes of this. It's not like, a dump like Netflix does. No disrespect to Netflix, but it's like I can watch this full story like carved out in this medium and I don't have to go to the movies for it and it just works perfectly. So I just wanted to add that.
It's interesting you say that, and I don't think it's any shade to Netflix. I think Netflix has a different business model and a different kind of, process for taking on TV shows. Netflix will take more often, comedies and sitcoms and anthology series that, kind of function on their own and you can go in and out whenever, and that serves its purpose in other ways. But HBO will take the stories that you have to follow all the way through, and they're really, like you said, drawn out and they're dramatic and they highlight all of these characters very deeply. And FX does it well, but I'd also add Apple TV. Now, Apple TV will give you a three season, 4 season, but HBO does it really well, and Apple TV has some hitters too. But again, I think the long drawn out episodes. For instance, we go back to my girl Sofia. Quite frankly, let me tell you about Sofia real quick one more time. The fits. Have y'all seen her fits? I mean, come on now. Like, I don't want us to get too far away. The show is called The Penguin, but if Sofia Falcone got a spinoff, I'm not mad at it. All right. I'm gonna say this: I didn't like Jessica Jones. Hated that show. You heard it here first. This is what we watch. Happy
She's
Wednesday. Hated Jessica Jones. Terrible. Don't do that. But a Sofia Falcone show, I'm in. I'm in. She got the fits. She got the eyes. She got the look. She got the real. Like we understand how people try to keep her down and oppress her, and now I understand why she's trying to rise to ascension. She tries. The Penguin tries to gaslight her, and she's like, I see all through this. Like I'm in. I'm so dedicated to her success, and I'm gonna look up all of her outfits after this show is over. But I think that's why I loved episode 3 specifically and why I love the show. Because to your point, Angela, we get to really dive into stuff that a movie, a 2.5 or 3 hour movie, might not really flesh out. We might not get those moments where we understand where Bliss came from and why. We might not get those funny moments that Tej mentioned with Sophia, right? We might not get as many like hard hitting moments about Vic in a movie, quite frankly. So, Jason, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say I'm loving this show, and kind of like what T said. I had low expectations, but it has nothing to do with Batman, and it's like it's a mob show pretty much, and that's what makes it so great. Um, and I think somebody has said that a lot of it is filmed around, or shown around the daytime. So it's Batman. He's probably sleep right around that time. So you don't see him so often. But no, it's really dope. That's
It's
all I want to say.
interesting. And maybe Tej, you can speak to it, but like, okay, so why were expectations low? Is it the typical like answer that just popped in my head? Why were expectations low for this show?
we've never seen, at least on screen, we've never seen a close-up look of the Penguin. He's kind of like a bumbling, stumbling guy with an umbrella gun in the Batman movies. Who, you see him pop in. He's probably not even the main villain that Batman will encounter in that movie or that TV show, and so we know him from that. We know him from the animated series, but we've never really got a close-up look at him, especially not in this way that takes him serious. He's not a joke. And actually, a lot of his trauma and a lot of what leads him to make decisions he makes is that somebody thinks he's a joke, i.e., calling him the Penguin, really sets him off and makes him angry. And we've never quite seen something, a portrayal of him this deep, but also in this particular way. So it's not that I thought that it would be bad. I was not going to go in thinking it was going to be this good, even though the Batman was, a very, very good film that I really enjoyed. That doesn't necessarily mean that the spinoff show was going to be any good. And maybe we're just jaded by some of the Marvel TV shows where it's just like, why am I here? This is a waste of my time.
Yeah, I think I had high expectations, maybe because of marketing, because we can all say that advertisements don't work on us, but they do. Um, But I think for me, I had high expectations because the Batman was good. And I compared this, and you guys can tell me if I've missed a mark here on this, but I compared this to the release of WandaVision. So, like, we're coming off the movies and we get WandaVision. We're coming off the movie, The Batman, which I don't know, you guys. We had a What We Watch space on the Batman. And there were a lot of gripes about it. There was obviously most of us here at What We Watch, we have great taste, so we were able to kind of highlight all the beauty in it and why so many of us watched it so many times in theaters. It's definitely a theater movie, but there were a lot of gripes around it. And so for me, I was like, such a deviation from, the usual Batman universe for there to be a spin-off show from that off yet another villain, because what do we always say about Batman? Number one, we don't like Batman. Okay, here at What We Watch, we don't like Batman. We don't support Batman. But the Batman universe is so cool because of the villains. We've always said that. We love a Joker, a Riddler. I've always liked the Penguin too. We love Bane. We love his villains because they're always going crazy. They always got some bars to spit. So me personally, I don't know that I had low expectations. I was excited to watch the show just as much as they probably would expect during, the release and the marketing. So that's how I felt about it. Jason, I saw you unmute.
I think it's pretty cool that we get to see Penguin not being like the boss. He's kind of like a lieutenant, underling. You know what I'm saying? Work his way up instead of like like some of the old movies where he's like the kingpin type. So I think that also helped. And also, I liked the Batman when it came out. I really liked it, but I did a rewatch just because of this Penguin series, and I enjoy it even more after after these few episodes. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
So you did a
yeah,
rewatch, and
yeah,
okay, I
yeah,
love that. I think I will. I think I'll do that
yeah,
because that
yeah.
3 hour movie,
I did too. It was great.
that 3 hour movie was really lovely. I mean, the opening scene will forever stick with me. Paul Dano will forever stick with me. Jeffrey Wright will always stick with me. But I think putting Colin Farrell as the Penguin, you can't lose. And I agree. I love that we got the Penguins, like, he's struggling. He's like second or third at any given time throughout this show, right? And I think that it's cool that we get to see that because usually in this mob boss stuff, we get to see somebody just like hitting down and punching down. And no one's really punching down right now. Like I said, remember the guy that's really the head honcho, the one that's running stuff, we barely even see him on screen. But we just see like this clawing and fighting. And I almost want to make the comparison to like Power, although we have Ghost there who's mostly like, or like I think it was called Billions, or even Lowest of Keys Succession, because this is a story of Succession, but Succession illegal, right? Although a lot of stuff that was done in Succession was also illegal, but like Succession,
That's
but like with drugs, right? With blue collar underworld Gotham. Succession, if you put it in Gotham, it's like everybody's fighting for the family jewels, the family drugs, the family money, the family owning the bars and the clubs and everything, right? Tej, I saw you unmute. Go ahead.
no. I was gonna say that a lot of legal stuff was happening in Succession as well, but that was a point
A
I was
lot of
gonna make.
what?
A lot of illegal stuff also
Yes.
happened
Okay.
in
So I made
Succession.
I
So
made the
like,
point too. DLJ, talk to me. So I want to know what y'all feel about the scene with the arm almost being taken off by Sophia. I I was shook. I'm a sicko. I love like the film franchise Saw. I love to see torturous things. There's something about there's something about that almost cutting off the penguin's arm that I was like, wait, I have my limits. I could barely watch. What did y'all think about that scene?
Um, it just shows it just shows the ruthlessness that's behind Sophia. You can tell like she's obviously went through a lot being at Arkham, and then the fact that she has history with the Penguin, and the power struggle that's going on with her family, and the fact that she even is teaming up with the Penguin to try to um, go against her family in this power struggle. She's obviously just channeling that rage, and I'm interested to see as the story plays out when she'll realize that actually Oz was actually behind the death of her brother.
Yo, the fact that she knew, and I love that because here's how manipulators and conniving people work, right? Not that who knows? I have experience with them. Not that I am one. I may be. Who knows? You know how, Hi, Karen. How are you? Welcome to What We Watch Wednesday.
Hi, how's it going? How are we doing?
Good. Did you watch The Penguin?
Actually, this week I did with absolutely no context because my friend Anire played Graciela. So
Oh my goodness, we love
yeah,
Graciela. We
yeah,
love
no,
very
Graciela.
love Graciela.
Um,
Yes, yeah. I just wanted to
we're
give a shout out to my girl Anire.
As you should. Thank you, girl. You did amazing. As you should run away to California. And I'm sorry he didn't text you back.
Crazy.
um, Back to manipulators and lying and conniving and just, this is just what I've heard and what I've read. Um,
Vic might be a fuck boy. He's bad at texting back. He's bad at calling back. He did not do a great job of that in this episode.
Here's the thing about Vic. That's my guy. That's my Afro Latino. That's my Miles Morales in the Batman universe. And we're going to have some
Chill,
respect.
chill.
We're going to have some respect. Um, but the thing is about being misled by the penguin is that when we have these moments where someone catches him and someone knows he's lying, or someone knows, like, someone gets it right, because we saw it as viewers, someone gets it right, and he escapes that point in which they are correct, when Sofia adequately assessed him, when he, got the blade and people were like, absolutely, like, had him locked up in the house or whatever, when he killed the Marone or whatever Maroni, whatever, the Maroni house. What happens when you're at a point where you think you're correct in the very beginning and then you're disproven, you never really get back to that place. You only get further and further away. And so when you're gaslit, that's why it's so insidious, because I was right in the very beginning, but things continue to happen and it moves me away from when I was right. And so I'm just excited to see how they're ever going to get back to the point, or I forget who brought it up, I think it was you, DLJ, or Jason, that you killed my brother. And that was the very first conversation we had in this show. And I knew it at that point, but I'm only moving away from that. And we're only going to get further away from that. I don't think in this season we're going to get closer to the Penguin being caught. He's making a lot of enemies, but Tej, what do you think about kind of the cadence and like how we're moving away with the Penguin getting away with it? Because that's kind of what we have to do every episode, right? He has to continue to get away with stuff.
It's very hard to do because one, it's predictable, so you have to do it in a way that's not predictable, or at least a way that's entertaining. And so obviously right now he's in a jam where he keeps getting caught between the two families, and he's kind of got to talk his way out of it. He's already had a gun put in his mouth, he's already had a tourniquet thing on his arm, he's already had a knife at him, so he's obviously playing it extremely close. And to see him navigate it, even if we know or think we know that he's going to ascend to somebody who is able to eventually stare down the Batman and able to match wits with the Batman and able to match resources with the Batman and rise to the kingpin of the underworld. See, the way that he does that is always
The
fascinating. And
navigate
this is a
and
very,
navigating through that is the entertainment, right? That's the show.
yeah, and this is a very, very not great comparison, but I can't help but make it. Watching him start from middle level management is just so good, and that's kind of how you start The Sopranos. Anthony Soprano is not Tony Soprano is not the leader of the mob when you start the show. He is playing the politics within the mob, and there are people above him who are making decisions that he may not agree with, and you're seeing how he navigates from that level, and then you see him ascend to becoming the cop, to becoming the boss, and that is a part of the journey and growing with the character. The role also changes, and so somebody said it earlier, but seeing the Penguin start here, we've never seen that other than in the comics, obviously, but we've never quite, even in most of the comics, he's just the Penguin. He already is the king of the underworld. It's like imagine if a Spider-Man movie drops you in where the Kingpin is literally just a guy who happens to be the biggest guy in the room, but is not the most important or most powerful guy in the room, and you see him rise to the ranks where we expect him to be. That in itself makes it fascinating, and and it helps you learn about the character. How does someone ascend to that kind of power? Well, they've got to have a certain level of cachet on the street. They got to have a certain reputation. He's not a made man. He's not from one of the families, so he doesn't have. He's not starting from the same place as all these other characters in the show. So he's got to get it out the mud. So he is a self-made man, and to see that ascent is very, very makes it very entertaining, and it really helps the writers and what they're trying to put on screen. And I think it's just really well done. So
Angela, what do you think?
Okay. Comparing him to Tony Soprano, Tej, I mean, do better. You can't, not every time's not the same. But no, I, the thing that like, the thing that really stresses me out though is like, I feel like I understand what you're saying, Tej, like 100%, but like Tony, like the Penguin is just very chaotic. Like when I was when I was watching this most recent episode, I was like, man, him and Sophia, it's like, oh, she matches my freak and you're both crazy. Like that scene where they caught the dude like sleeping with the guy's wife. I was just like, man, like there are just so many resources that are not had in Gotham because like these people clearly need like some like legit therapy and meds. But like the way he's gone about it is just like, and I guess that's like part of the show, right? It's like really, really chaotic. It's very stressful because it's like, okay, Like, these people aren't dumb. You had to have known that they were going to catch you. Like, you're playing both sides of the fence. And it's like, so now you have these two families who, like, episode 4 is going to stress me out. Like, it's like now you have like these two families that like hate you. And it's like, it's just very chaotic. And it's like, what do you do? And like, I'm excited for that. Like, I'm excited to see what's next because he doesn't have an army. Like, he doesn't have people. His people is Vic.
His people is Vic.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I like Vic, but like, I'm not trying to go to war with Vic.
You know what? Not too much on my guy. I'll go to war with Vic. Vic will stutter his way out of anything, and I respect it. I love it. I want Vic on my side. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. We ended this last 3 episodes, these first 3 episodes, um, with them escaping after he hit them with the Maserati. The Penguin is a Maserati commercial. Just remember that. This is what we watch. Take that with it. The Penguin is a Maserati commercial. We hit the people with a Maserati. We escape. Sofia is nowhere to be found. Sofia Falcone is nowhere to be found. We reference her through Vic, and Penguin's like, fuck her. We off that. And so to see the Penguin continue to wiggle out of these situations is very, very bizarre to me. And I'm excited to see how they continue to do it. And I want to sit on the word chaotic that Angela brought up. Chaotic, very much so. The Penguin is not meticulous. He's not calculated. He's very much everywhere. He's very much full of luck. He's very much just manipulative and an opportunist, right? He seizes opportunities and makes it work in his favor. He tries to gaslight people and hopefully it works, and most of the time it does, right? And it takes a little bit, but it does. And we see that when he has the conversation with Vic and he's like, see, you fucked my shit up, and you see what kind of shit I gotta do when you couldn't, plant the jewels. I'm trying to be calculated. I'm trying to be meticulous. I'm trying to plan things. But do you see what happens when I make a plan? It gets fucked up anyways. So now I gotta be chaotic. And I love that they're like honoring that. And you watch that scene, and I don't know how y'all feel, but I watched the scene of him hiding the blade and the other dude after he attacked Vidi or whoever it was. And I'm like, the Penguin loves being like this. You was always gonna be like this. I feel like he would have planted the jewels and you still would have acted like this. You would have still killed that guy. And I love how they keep planning that because I'm just like, don't talk to Vic like, you see, I had a plan and I wasn't gonna have to kill nobody in this plan. You was gonna kill that man anyways. As soon as somebody says something crazy to the Penguin, as soon as somebody laughs in his face over his disability, because he is a person with disabilities, we will be respectful here. As soon as someone laughs at the Penguin and his disabilities, as soon as someone says something that hits him a little too hard, those of us on the internet, type a angry tweet, but he shoots them. And so very chaotic. No real plan, just very chaotic. Go ahead, Teach.
I have to push back on that because I think we are seeing his growth in episode 3 when they went to VD. Was that 3 or 2? One of those. When they went to VD and they catch him with the wife, VD tells him what's what. He's like, people don't trust you. People will have you around for drinks, but people do not fuck with you like that. And Sophia does not fuck with you like that. The head Falcone that died in the Batman, he did not fuck with you like that. And he got really upset and he obviously physically attacked the guy, but he knew better than to kill him in that moment, at least because he knows that he is better served with that man alive. So that just shows you a little bit of growth because he didn't. It would have been better for him not to kill Alberto, but he killed Alberto, and he didn't act as rash this time. And maybe that was because Sophia was in the room, but I think they're showing that he is capable of at least not making rash decisions in those moments where he needs to really keep somebody alive.
Here's the thing. Sure, he's capable of making good decisions. I don't think that's growth at all. I think that is an opportunist. He's not going to kill Vidi when he needs Vidi to make a phone call in the next 2 seconds. He's not going to kill Vidi in front of Sofia. So I don't think that's growth. I think that's following your web of lies and not making your lies work against you. So yes, he shouldn't have killed Alberto and he sees that, but that's still in him. So I don't know if it's necessarily growth or just like he's realizing that he can be meticulous in ways and measure that if it may be more harmful than it is beneficial. I think he did that in the Alberto thing too. I don't think that he lacked that. in the beginning of the season. He went there and tried to talk to him. He went there and got caught putting the jewels. He was like, all right, let's talk. But as soon as you go crazy and you hit some notes, he's like, fuck, I have to kill you. And so, yes, he didn't kill Vidi, sure, but he literally needed Vidi to make a call, you know. And I'm sure Vidi's not going to last too much longer, to be honest with you. I don't know if Penguin's going to kill him, but I can't imagine Vidi lasting too much longer. I can't imagine most people.
It's gonna be Sofia that
Yeah, that's
kills.
what I'm saying. Vidi,
He be talking to Sofia.
yeah, Sofia got them eyes of a killer. I honestly, I have to ask y'all, who are y'all more afraid of, Sofia or the Penguin? If you find out Sofia got a hit on you or
Sofia.
the Penguin got a hit on you, who are you really more afraid of? Go ahead, Jason.
No, I think y'all both right because Penguin, he's not a strategist at all, but that
Yeah,
dude know how to call audibles like a motherfucker. Like I mean, he's he's
that's
quick
what.
on his feet.
Thank you for the sports reference. I'm like, no, don't try to say he's growing into strat.
Yeah.
No, this motherfucker just be shooting from the hip, and he hits some.
But to answer your question, I'll be more shook with Sophia to be honest. So yeah,
Now, why is that? I love that. Why?
uh, she's kind of great. I mean, she
Look,
yeah, she's kind. I mean,
it
yeah,
ain't even gotta be no articulate. I'm telling you, it's the eyes, bro. You look at her
yeah,
eyes and you
yeah. She got
like,
them crazy eyes. Yeah.
I'm not even fucking with it. Angela, are you more afraid if the Penguin out to get you or Sophia out to get you?
My answer is A-list, so I'm not. I'm just gonna skip this.
Oh shit!
I'm sorry. I would be more scared of Sophia. Like that's she looks like she can run fast. Like I would be. She has money. Like Penguin looks broke. Penguin still looks
Did you
broke right
just say
now.
that
Like
she
I
looks
would
like she
be.
can run fast? Is that a shot at Penguin? Oh my god.
Yes.
The fact that
I'm sorry. I know that's
this is
ableist, and
crazy.
we respect our ableist kings, but like Mo, you know I'm right.
Well,
Like
you're not wrong. Here at What We Watch, we're not ableist. We're just talking about a fictional character.
Michael Myers never ran fast, and he always caught who he was supposed to catch. He never
Siege, you
ran
making
once.
too much sense. But see, that's why when we get into my villain rooms, and I told like I had a whole room. I have had multiple spaces where, quite frankly, like give me a horror villain that you're absolutely cooking. The Scream dude not catching me. Michael Myers gonna have to see me because come on, you just big and strong.
That's not fair. The Scream dude is different in every movie. That's like so. And there's been
That's
women that have been
exactly
in the
why the
mask.
Scream dude can't fuck with me. That's a regular person. I'ma beat your ass. I'll take your weapon and kill you. You got me, child.
Chucky.
Okay, Chucky gonna have me shook. Okay,
You can't kill Chucky. They tried everything.
I don't know. Dolls are scary. Please keep dolls away from me. You know how many film installments there are of just like deranged dolls? Them dolls be cooking. Tej, are you rather have the penguin on you?
I would much rather have the penguin on me because Sophia scares me, bro. Sophia really scares me. I feel like if I can get the penguin to calm down, then I have a chance of surviving. Sophia, once she decides that you're dead, like the way she looked at Vidi when Vidi was like, "You better take your bitch ass to Italy, or I'm gonna tell people you took your bitch ass to Italy." And he's calling her a psychopath. The way she just looked at that man and said, "Thank you for that." I said, "Oh no, you better run, bro. Your life is on the line." Everybody is calling her the
Vidi got about
Eggman.
30 minutes
What
left
are
in
you
this
not scared of?
episode. Did you just say? That's what I'm telling you. The penguin was child. The penguin is like Vidi gonna die anyways. Because here's the thing. Thank you for reminding me of that. Why he print out that boarding pass like that? This show's comedic timing is actually simultaneously awful and brilliant. Like, why did y'all do that? And the fact that they didn't even play, because that means that they honored the fact that the audience was gonna be like, really? A printed boarding pass? And so they let Sophia have the line. Did you print this out yourself, you fucking weirdo? What a weird old ass man. Like only a old ass weird ass Falcone would print this out. But for him to go and be like, either you go to Italy, I'm gonna tell people you was in Italy. I'm sorry, was that a threat?
You threatening the hangman. You don't value
I'm
your life
sorry,
at
did you
all.
just threaten someone who did 10 years in Arkham? Is that what you just did? Did you just lightly and with conviction too? And walked right off. I would have, I would have not been shocked if she shot him in the back of the head right there. Cause excuse me,
And we talking about the real Arkham. Like she did 10 years in the real Arkham, not the Joker 2 Arkham where they start breaking into songs. She did 10 years in the real Arkham, bro. I don't want to hear nothing. You don't mess with people like this.
We support every mental institution, every admitted patient. We support everyone, all people with disabilities as well. We're just saying what it is in this universe. DLJ, we'll close it out with you. Would you rather have Penguin on you or Sophia?
I would rather have the Penguin. Sophia is just too scary for me, and she definitely has that look. Like if she wants you dead, she can just kill you right
I
then and there.
rest. I rest my case. I think the Penguin, again, we get a Sofia Falcone spinoff. I'm not saying that that is what should happen or what should, but I'm okay. I'm in if it does. I'm giving it at least 2 episodes to see what's popping because Sofia is such a, such a inviting and intricate character. Even the moment where her sister comes up and hugs her with the daughter Carla, right, or whatever her name is, and then she's like, "Oh,
That's her cousin.
her cousin, yeah, her cousin comes up and hugs her, and oh my gosh, good to see you, and oh my gosh, family reunion kisses, and then she tries to keep her niece or her her daughter away from her. It's like, wait, not you pulling your kid closer. I'll kill you and your kid. See now, and so those eyes. She looked up at that, and there was a great shot. And she looked up at her cousin like, no, I got it. I'll touch your daughter's hair, her ears. Don't try me. I did 10 years in the real Arkham, not the fake one. And so I say that to say I think maybe the writers and the showrunners understood that trying to sell a full show of the Penguin was going to be difficult, but we have Sophia right next to him. And that duo, however deranged, chaotic, sick, is really really powerful. And if we have more fear, she strikes more fear in us than the Penguin. That means that we're just going to be on this journey with the Penguin's rise to the top in a really unique and fun way because that power dynamic is going to be so entertaining over the next few episodes. So with that, I want to say thank you so much for joining us for What We Watch Wednesday. That is the Penguin HBO. And I'm going to ask some theories next week. Next week, when we're tapped in, I want some theories. I want to see who's right and who's wrong about where this show is going, what the Penguin is going to fail and succeed in, and if Sophia is going to kill more people than him. Right now, I want to count bodies per. I want a bodies per count because they're both insane and they're making Sophia look like they're giving Sophia a lot of softness. You don't see it, you don't really feel it, but they're giving it to her. And I'm wondering if they're going to keep building on that because now she's like, well, take it or leave it with the bliss. And so we're seeing her kind of recognize that, like, Penguin, you're my driver. Okay. My father put me in this and you did this to me and you fucked me up. So now I'm going to make sure you know where you stand. And so I'm excited to see what happens next. So thank you guys so much. This is What We Watch Wednesday. We'll see you next week. Bye.